Hi, my name's Nick Marks. I work for Wildlife Alliance for our Care for Rescued Wildlife programme. I manage the project. We're currently at Nom Tamau Wildlife Rescue Centre, the official government rescue centre for confiscated and illegally traded wild animals. Nom Tamau Rescue Centre is government run. Wildlife Alliance assists with all the animals here, assists the government to manage the place and finance the place. It's surrounded by 2,500 hectares of regenerating forest and is an excellent environment for wild animals to be rehabilitated in. This is our elephant enclosure where the elephants are held when they're not walking in the forest, and we have stalls for their night quarters. They spend the middle of the day here. In the afternoon they'll be walking again in the forest. They have a shelter, nice shelter. They have a pool, and they used to have trees, but unfortunately elephants tend in smaller areas tend to sort trees out fairly quickly. It's a large grassy enclosure, probably about in excess of a hectare, so they have enough room. And like I say, at night they're put in their night stalls, not chained, but they put in their night stalls just for their own safety to make sure things are okay. This is little Chook, a 3 or 4 year old elephant bull. We rescued him from the province of Mondulkiri in the Shrepok wilderness area 2 years ago. He'd been found wandering alone. He's lost his left foot, obviously due to a snare, and he was extremely thin, emaciated and sick when we found him. I stayed in the forest with him for around 10 days, slept with him, hand-fed him everything he ate to calm him down a little bit, to prepare him for the journey here. He obviously couldn't survive in the forest without his mother and without a foot. What we're doing now, we have started the process of getting him a prosthetic foot, which hopefully within a few months we've done the exploratory examination. Took casts, x-rays of his leg last weekend, and we're looking for funds now to fit him with a prosthetic foot. I'm just going to crack on with this in the absence of money, and we'll sort the funding side of it later. But he needs a foot, he needs an extra foot, he's unbalanced right now. You can see that he's being structurally damaged as he grows and his great weight. He needs something to kind of rebalance him on the left-hand side. Wildlife Alliance cares for 7 tigers in this compound. We give the total care for all of these tigers. All of them have large forested enclosures and inside dens. There are 4 large enclosures for each pair of tigers, and this chap's on his own. These are the tiger dens we're going into now, the night quarters for the tigers, where they're fed, and where we keep them if we need to give them treatment. Coming in here now. And this is a Reng, a little chap that we've just seen outside. Is his greeting. We have 8 individual dens here, and this small outside enclosure, larger enclosure within the compound, within the night quarters. All the tigers are shut in at night. As you can see, they're in excellent condition. Not too fat, not too thin. We hope to be able to renew the dens this year. They're in perfectly good condition, but they spray, the tigers spray on steel, and we repaint them every year. This is Dara, Rain's father, and as you can see, he's a very steady chap. All our tigers, our 6 adult tigers, are confiscated in Cambodia, and the 7th, Rain, who's now adult also, was born here, and this is his dad. These are our outside enclosures for the tigers, all nicely forested, natural enclosures. They have rocks, pools, everything that the tigers need for a nice, happy, relaxed life. Each enclosure is probably in the region of about 1/4 of a hectare, something like that. It's more than enough for them to run around in, to lead happy, relaxed lives. It's probably much more than most other tigers in Southeast Asia have to enjoy. This is the Nom Tomao veterinary clinic. It's surrounded by a fenced area with electric fencing, just to keep all the macaques that we have around out, stop them destroying the building. It's an excellent little building. There's an office, there's an operating theatre, small cages for sick animals, place for medicines. And it's operated at the moment on solar. But this isn't enough to use all the equipment that we have here, X-ray machines, sterilisers, etc. So we're again seeking funds for electricity here. At Nom Tomao there is no mains electricity, so we don't feel we need it particularly. We do well without it, but actually for the clinic particularly it would be useful. So we'll probably buy a generator and operate the clinic and the machinery here by generator. We're hoping to do that this year. So let's go and have a look inside. This is where the operations take place, and any treatment will be conducted in here. We have a reasonable supply of medicines and instruments that we need. These cupboards and these trays contain syringes, medicines, bandages, various equipment. So we could be better equipped, but we do pretty well. There's a veterinary practice in Phnom Penh, a French veterinary practice, that helps us out with any more serious operations, or if we struggle for any reason at all. But like I say, we have 4 vets here. One of them is Cambodia's leading wildlife vet. He was trained in Vietnam, so he has a good qualification. And I've worked with this gentleman named Dr. Nimti extensively here at Nom Tomao, and also in rescuing many wild animals, including rescuing little Chook and capturing 2 elephants that were causing problems in villages within the country. We've rescued these animals. They would otherwise have been killed. We do a good job here. We're hoping this year to conduct a veterinary training program, and also to ensure that we have higher power concerning electricity, so that we can fully use all the machinery. So we can go and look at the machinery if the door's unlocked. Got an X-ray machine and screen to see the pictures, but At the moment we can't use it because the solar does not generate enough power. Let's carry on looking around. This is an office, currently not used very much, but I'm sure we'll put this room to better use in the future as we improve the techniques and the facilities at the clinic. We might need an office, or we might need to use the room for something else. More medicines in here. And this is just an analysis room. There's a microscope. We can conduct simple fecal tests here. This is just a storage room. Incubator. More storage rooms or cages, whichever we need. Here. 6 in all. And the doors open across the corridor so that we can move animals from side to side if we need to. We go on down. Another cage being used as a storage room. And here's a little gibbon that was extremely sick. He has very bad cataracts, and for that reason couldn't feed properly. He had a son there. She was recently donated to Phnom Penh, and for a year she had a serious abscess on her side, and her owner he treated it but didn't have the capacity himself to do really any sensible treatment that the bear needed. And she's now been operated on twice, and hopefully she'll get better. We're now going to our quarantine facility. Every new arrival comes here, and also the sick animals within the centre will come here. And we'll keep them here either until they're better and we can return them to their enclosures, or until we have constructed new enclosures for new arrivals within the centre. So I'll go and see the quarantine facility. There are around 36 cages here of varying sizes, and a small storage space over there with the lesser adjutants sitting on the top of the spare cages, or the cages that arrivals come in, or that animals are confiscated in. When Wildlife Alliance first started, and I first started working here, quarantine was appalling. It was a real embarrassment to be involved with this place. But we've managed to, bit by bit, to renovate it all. We built roofs, we built concrete bases, and we built steel cages. And it serves very well now. It's probably getting about time to renew quarantine, which we will do as soon as we have the money to do so. It's going to cost probably in the region of $30,000 or $40,000. And we have around 40 lesser whistling duck in this enclosure. Their wings were clipped. They were confiscated by the Wildlife Rapid Rescue Team, and their wings having been clipped, so we can't release them right now. As soon as they can fly again, we will release them. Here we have more crocodiles, and this cage has pythons in it. We get donated a lot of pythons that are found in Phnom Penh, actually wild pythons, and also a lot of donated pets. The wild pythons we catch up when we have a certain number, and we take them down into the forests, usually in Kokong in the southwest of the country, and we release them there. More gibbons. We have an awful lot of gibbons here at the moment, and that's a job that needs doing. And this is a little gaur, baby gaur, that we're hand raising. It's right into the camera. She was rescued from Mondulkiri. She was found wandering in the forest on her own. We're now hand raising her here. She was kind of thin when we got her, but the keepers are doing a great job. This is our rehabilitation area. It's not on show to the general public, but it's an area for animals that, if we feel might be appropriate for release at some stage, we bring them here. It's hands off. They're given nice, secluded, large enclosures to learn a more natural way in. You've requested that we show you every enclosure. We've got about 1,000 animals and we can't do that, but every cage is large enough. Every cage is completely adequately maintained with apparatus for animals to enjoy a natural way of life inside. All our keepers, although they're not highly paid by any means, have been trained now, and they're all excellent and care for their animals very well. We're asking for your help in caring just for our elephants and our tigers, and we've particularly addressed those areas and areas that might be relevant to them.